Metatune. Metatune from Slate Digital. Do we need this plugin? I mean, we have autotune. We have a million different tuning plugins. What makes this one special? Let's get into it. The Radium POW plugin of the week. So first things first, I want to play you this song. It's just like a little chorus idea, sketch idea that I've been coming up with. It has autotune on it right now, so I'll show you the autotune on it. And this is the EFX plugin, and it's at 6 on the speed and a little bit of humanize, but typically I'd go about 15. I like it a little bit less on just, I don't want a lot of that shit, right? So I'm going to play this for you, and then I'm going to switch it out for Metatune. And I'm going to recut these vocals and just kind of give you my first impression of what I think of how Metatune kind of relates to Autotune EFX. Let's hear it.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. I'm ready to fall.
Okay, so there's the hook. There's obviously some stacks and stuff in there. I am going to solo this out for you and show you exactly all that stuff. But this is the first time I'm ever opening up Metatune, okay? So just so you can get a first reaction from someone that's, you know, been making music for 25 years. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got. So let's go to Slate Digital. Where are we? Slatey, Beatty, Weighty. Slate Digital, and let's go to Metatune. Choose your scale. Wow. Okay, so first impression is they made this a little stupid, right? Like kind of dumb. Like, yeah, here's your, go to the next, choose your scale, and then do your speed and sustain and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's going to take you through everything, which is fine, you know? Like if you're a beginner or you don't understand like this kind of stuff, cool. I do like that it's showing you some of this stuff though, like groups, like who would have known about a group. Group multiple instances of Metatune to link their settings and adjust multiple tracks at the same time. That's dope. Love that. Okay, so you guys can read the manual if you want. I'm just going to go at this as if I've been making music for a long time and I know kind of what I'm doing, which debatable, right? Does anyone know what they're doing? All right, so here we go. We got chromatic down here. I'm going to go and say A major because that's what this is in. Go A major, and let's go to the speed, and holy crap, let's go 0. Oh, you got a negative. Wow. Okay, so this is probably the meta, right? So this is the meta tune, the -3, which is cool. I'm gonna mess with this. I'm not hating on it at all. I'm gonna set this exactly where I have typically my auto-tune EFX. So it's like 15 milliseconds, somewhere around there, right? And then let's cut this thing. Changes speed value based on note length. Okay, so this is this a dream? Is this a dream? Da, 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 da. So it's kind of longer. I would say maybe like, we'll give it a little bit of a percentage. I'm just thinking about the length of the note. That's what this is all about, right? And we're good here, and we're gonna go major here, and low latency, absolutely. And there you go. That's what I got right now. That's how I would set this up. First impression, I'm like, cool. What is this? This is crazy. Okay. So this, you can also tweak the milliseconds from this weird orb. I don't know, man. This is a little extreme. And probably taking up CPU power that I really don't want to give up. But whatever. Let's let's hear this thing in action. All right, I'm just going to cut this vocal right now, right through this. And you guys are going to hear me completely metatuned. Metatuned, baby! All right, let's go.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. I'm ready.
Okay, there's some latency. There's a lot more latency to this plugin than there is on Autotune EFX. I'll be honest with you. I feel very behind. I feel like I'm like hearing myself, and then it's coming through, right? So let me cut that again. Let me just try this again. I just really want to vibe out on this. I'm going to duplicate this track with the autotune on it, EFX, so I can just tell you how I'm feeling and like what the differences are, because that felt really off. That felt weird to me. Like in my headphones, I'm like hearing like a double, you know what I mean? And I do have low latency mode on in Logic, and in the plugin Metatune, I do have low latency mode on as well. And I'm at a 128 buffer speed. So typically that's fine for me. So let's do this again. Let's try it again.
Is this a dream?
Wow. So here's another thing. So right away, my computer started glitching out. Like it's like, whoa, what the hell's going on, right? And I don't typically get that. This is an iMac with 10 cores, 128 gigs of RAM. There's just really not a whole lot of reasons why that would happen, right? Even at 128. So I think the Metatune is kind of heavy. That's what I'm getting right away, okay? I'm just giving you guys some real shit right now, okay? This is like, all right, this is how I'd cut a record. So what do you want me to do? Mr. Metatune, do you want me to like decrease my size? I don't really understand. I'm going to delete that track I just did. I'm going to delete some other tracks like here. I'm going to mute this. I'm going to disable all the plugins. I'm just going to try to save CPU and let's just see what is going on here, because I've never had that happen where it's just like it's just losing its shit. Other thing, I'm going to take these guys. These are all good. I'm going to hide these guys. Disabled. Another vocal track I could just delete. There's nothing there. I'm just trying to get rid of stuff, see if we can save some CPU. But that was crazy. Like I haven't had my computer like really shit out like that before. So let's go again with the Metatune.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign.
Again. The latency is there. It's very abundant, and it makes me feel like I'm behind the whole time, okay? Yeah, I'm trying to like make up for it in my head. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mute the Metatune, and I'm just going to do this right through EFX on this main track. I'm going to duplicate it just because I want to keep my original performance and my little comp that I did there. Turn off all the plugins on that one, and we're going to go through autotune, and I'm just going to tell you if I feel any difference, because maybe it's not the plugin, maybe it's my computer.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind.
Okay. Bada bam. So it's not the Metatune. Actually, the autotune has even more latency. So that's great. The Metatune is definitely sounding better. It's faster, which is awesome. So that is not a problem. Latency is not the issue. And I'm actually getting more latency from the autotune EFX. And you guys see, I got a lot of plugins on this chain. So either way, it's exactly the same, just with the Metatune instead of the autotune EFX. So I want to point that out right away. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of latency with the autotune, and I'm getting less latency with the Metatune. Okay, so that's great. I'm also going to now bring this up, and we're going to talk about this Metatune in a mixing situation rather than a tracking situation. So first thing I've noticed is a lot lower latency than the EFX. +1, good job. All right, let's kind of move this track back because I was kind of late the whole time, and I think it was the latency. So I'm just going to kind of pop this back a little bit, knock it in the pocket a little bit more. And let's start to get into sort of some of the mixing factors and the speed and all that stuff. Let's check this out. I'm interested.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream.
Okay, so you can hear Metatune, I feel like really needs to be a lot faster. So this 14.9, typically I'm at like 15 with the EFX. 14.9 feels even slower than like a 15 on EFX. So I feel like you got to speed this guy up. So let's go like around 5 milliseconds and let's see what this does.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. I'm ready to fall.
Hey, I'm not complaining. That sounds pretty damn good. Obviously, my performance was pretty garbage, but that's okay. That's okay. Is it okay? That's okay. It feels okay. I'm not going to cry right here. Not on YouTube, not with you guys watching. All right, so let's get into Metatune. Let's get into this really fast stuff. See what we got here. I'm just going to go in the middle, like negative 1.7.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. I'm ready. Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. I'm ready.
Okay, hey, here's to my ears, it feels like it doesn't feel like super fast like you would think, like meta, right? It doesn't feel that way. It feels pretty musical still. So I'm really, really happy with this. I also think that this is really cool with the sustain and the speed value dependent on the note length. Like that is super dope. And the tone volume here, this is what I want to mess with next. Volume of the tone generator. I don't know what that means, but I think it means like sort of the effects that like what EFX is in autotune, where you can add more of the EFX. And I'll show you what that means here. When you open up autotune, EFX only, you have this output here in the EFX gain. So the EFX gain is adjust the input gain of EFX chain to prevent clipping. So the EFX is sort of like, you know, you can see you can turn this on and off, enable auto EFX effects. So that's where you get into the synthesized vocal thing, right? So the synthesized vocal thing is happening when you have a synthesizer adding to the vocal tune, which is really interesting. And I think that that's what the Metatune is sort of ripping off, but that's kind of what Slate Digital does, right? They rip shit off. They're like, yeah, this is our version of the 1176. This is the LA2A Slate version, right? So it's what they do. They just do that. There's no shade thrown. It's just what they do. All right, so Metatune is obviously a ripoff of VFX, autotune. Metatune, autotune. Okay, so let's get into that and hear this tone volume in play. I want to turn it up and down and just kind of check it.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. I'm ready to fall. Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking. Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind.
Okay, so I'm not really hearing much of a difference there, but the low latency mode on and off, you do hear timing difference, which is really interesting because that shouldn't matter unless you're tracking. And I feel like it's making up for and compensating in timing, which is really interesting. I would have never thought about that. So you also have a doubler here, which is cool. I really like that. Maybe that, there we go. Discovering a plugin without reading the manual. It's very exciting, guys. You should try it out. Plugin of the week, POW, by Radium Records. Okay, so doubler and double width. Let's listen to this. I'm actually really excited about this.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind.
Okay, so obviously you can hear like the audio and the stuff in the back of this audio, but this is a really cool effect, and I'm actually really happy about this doubler effect. I think maybe a little hidden, gem in this plugin is this doubler effect. Wow, like I am fucking into it. I'm hyped. Sorry. Okay, so let's get back into this. Let's hear this with kind of backing off the speed and just dialing this back in a little bit. I would go probably like, little meta. Let's throw a little meta in there. Meta, beta data. Oh, this is interesting. I like this. What is this? Okay, so this is saying like, yeah, just go really fast on the steps. Let's go really crazy and really fast on the steps. And then let's keep this doubler in here. This is like really hard process vocal. I'm going to go major on this. I don't know why it keeps going back to note. Play active and deactivate one note at a time. Stop doing that. Like, why do you keep switching back to note when I click major? Like, I know what the scale is, all right? Stop it. That's weird.
Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind. Caught in a dream, caught in a dream. Ready to fall, but I still need a sign. I'm ready. Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Waking up with you and you're still on my mind.
Okay, so the short note, long note, sustain thing, it's basically showing you like it's going to go wobbly and get that really crazy effects sort of thing when you go really fast on the speed, the meta speed, and then change the short note. So that's it, guys. Like, this is kind of my first reaction to this. So hopefully this was helpful in maybe deciding whether you want to pick up Metatune, whether you'd replace it with autotune, etc. I think it's an incredible tool. So far, I'm happy with it. I think this is super, super dope with the doubler effect. Like having the doubler dry, wet, and then the width as well. Like, that is just super dope. And look at these effects. But yeah, I don't want like all this if it's going to take up a bunch of CPU. Which we've noticed already that the EFX is actually more CPU than this Metatune. So congrats, Slate Digital, on another win. You guys are crushing it, man. Like, I'm happy with the Murda melodies, the Metatunes, all the ripoffs of everything you guys are doing. It's incredible. That's it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let us know in the comments. Also, 82% of you watching this right now are not subscribed to the channel, and that sucks for you mainly. So subscribe right now. We really appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. Share the video with anyone you think could use it, who's going to be using Metatune or Autotune or Melodyne or Tuning Tune or Waves Tune or Tune the World. Tune. Yeah, we in the tune. Peace out.